All right, Pickle. It's now time to unveil the Week 6 Dave Campbell's Texas Football Associated Press Texas High School Football Rankings. These are the official Texas High School Football Rankings of record. When you see a number one team, it's because the knuckleheads in this office put them at number one. That's what happens.
What a ringing endorsement.
Well, yeah. We get them right sometimes, get them wrong sometimes. A little bit of change, including a new number one. Bum, bum, bum. Let's go. Not in 6A, though. Let's go to the Class 6A ranking.
That was
everyone's like, whoa, what?
Anticlimactic.
Go to the Class 6A rankings for Week 6 of the Texas High School football
Reggie
season.
Samples is punching air
And
somewhere.
I'll tell you this. If you're looking for a lot of change, you're not going to see it in the first 20. Top 20 actually entirely unchanged there, including the top 5. Duncanville, North Shore, North Crowley, DeSoto, and Summer Creek. We now get number 5 Summer Creek versus number 8 Atascocita this week. That will be gangbusters. There is also some movement. We also get number 10 Coppell versus number 20 Denton Geyer. There is churn at the bottom as Byron Nelson crashes out with their loss to Euless Trinity. Cibolo Steele nudges up a spot to number 21. Cy Springs up a spot to number 22. Katie Jordan up a spot to number 23. San Antonio Brennan up a spot to number 24. And new to the rankings, the Trojans of Euless Trinity replace the team that they beat as they are now 4-1 on the year. Byron with a big win over Byron Nelson, the new number 25 team in the state. To 5A we go. 5A Division I entirely unchanged. Everyone is a winner. 10-0. Your top 5 remains unchanged. Denton, Ryan, Aledo, Frisco, Lone Star, A&M Consolidated, and Richland. 2 huge games to keep an eye on. Number 1 versus number 2, Denton, Ryan, and Aledo. Be talking about that this week. And number 9 versus number 10, Galveston Ball versus Port Arthur Memorial. Should be a lot of fun. Some changes in 5A Division II, though, as number 10 Corpus Christi Miller drops out of the rankings. Number 8 Brenham drops out of the rankings as well. Lubbock Cooper nudges up a spot to number 8. Into the rankings, number 9 Huntsville beats New Caney West Fork in emphatic fashion. They have looked very, very good since the early season loss. And Melissa beats Anna in kind of a weird game, 21-18. Good enough to get them into the rankings at number 10. Top 5 remains unchanged. Port Neches Grove, South Oak Cliff, Alamo Heights, Texas High, and Argyle. Biggest game this week is going to be P&G and Huntsville. Big time matchup there. To 4A we go. 4A has got some changes, including a new number 1 team in 4A Division I. The Salina Bobcats ascend to number 1, usurping Stephenville with their emphatic 42-7 win over Frisco Panther Creek. Absolutely dominant has been Salina. Their resume is beyond reproach right now. They are the new number 1 team in the state. Stephenville drops down to number 2. Austin LBJ nudges up a spot to number 3. Big mover Kilgore, good win over Pine Tree. They move up to number 4. Alvarado up 3 spots to number 5. Tyler Chapel Hill up 3 spots to number 6. El Campo up 3 spots to number 7. And Longview Pine Tree drops from number 6 to number 10 with their close loss to Kilgore. New to the rankings, the 5-0 Canyon Randall Raiders. Have you heard the good news? They're the number 8 team in the state. And number 9 back into the rankings, San Antonio Davenport, now 4-1 with a big win over Pleasanton. R.I.P. Will Wilkerson. To 4A Division II we go, where there's also churn at the bottom. Number 6 Silsby drops out, as does number 8 Glen Rose. Top 5 remains unchanged. Carthage, Brock, Gilmer, Sinton, and Seminole. But churn at the bottom with Robinson nudging up to number 6, Graham nudging up to number 7, and Wimberley nudging up to number 8. Pleasant Grove back into the rankings with a win over Sunnyvale, and West Orange Stark into the rankings at number 10 with a big win over Fort Penn Crawford. They are 4-1. To 3A we go. 3A Division I, where there's some movement to be made, but not in the top 5. Top 5 remains the same. Columbus, big win over Belleville, come from behind. Malakoff, Bushland, Edna, and Hitchcock is your top 5. Palestine Westwood up a couple spots. Pottsboro remains the same at number 7. Jefferson now the number 8 team. They jump Goliad, who's 3-1 on the year with a win over Mathis. And back into the rankings, the Eagles of Tatum with a 4-1 mark. They beat Gladewater Sabine to grab it. Number 6 Franklin crashes out of the rankings. 3A Division II, a little bit of movement because of Sunray's win over Canadian. Canadian drops from number 3 all the way to number 9, hanging on to a spot there in the rankings. Lexington nudges up to number 3. East Bernard makes a big leap. They leapfrog New Diana to grab the number 4 spot. Been very impressed with what the Brahmas have cooking. Jacksboro nudges up a spot to number 6. Wall nudges up 2 spots to number 7. Altair Rice Consolidated up to number 8 ahead of their big game this week against East Bernard. That game's going to be fantastic. And new to the rankings as Holiday crashes out, Wichita Falls City View at 4-1. Impressive win over Childress to improve to 4-1. They are the new top 10 team. To 2A we go. 2A Division 1, the only change here is that number 8 Timpson drops out of the rankings with their loss to Wolf City. Everyone, Panhandle nudges up to number 8 and Mason up to number 9. But new to the rankings, the Bulldogs of Hamilton are state ranked at 5-0 with their win over San Saba. Over to 2A Division 2 we go, where there is another just kind of flurry of changes here in the rankings. Specifically, you are going to lose, let's see, who dropped out? Bremont drops out of the rankings, Miles drops out of the rankings, and Grapeland drops out of the rankings. Mart remains the number 1 team. Mart, Stratford, and Munster, in fact, your top 3. Collinsville, big mover up from number 7 to number 4. Impressive win over Coleman. They are 5-0. Wink jumps up 2 spots to number 7. And 3 new teams into the rankings. The Eagles of Ropes are state ranked. Who says making that transition from 6-man to 11-man is tough? They've making it look very good. They are 5-0 on the year with a win over Forsam. Shiner back into the rankings. They have kind of righted the ship after a tough non-district slate. They are now 2-3 on the year, but good enough to get back in the rankings. We like what we see. And new to the rankings, at number 10, the Greyhounds of Groover are 5-0. They demolish a team from Oklahoma to move to 5-0 on the year. To the 6-man ranks we go, where there are a couple of big games, specifically Buena Vista's big win over Westbrook. That vaults them all the way from number 9 to number 5. May moves up a spot to number 4 as a result. Happy remains the same there at number 7, and then Westbrook drops from number 4 to number 9. Booker crashes out of the rankings at number 10, and new to the rankings, the Hornets of Lomita are state ranked at number 10 with they're 5-0 with their win over the Owls of Covington. To 1A Division 2 we go, where there's a little bit of chaos. Sydney goes down. They lose to Cherokee. And Zephyr goes down. They lose this week to Strawn. As a result, Oglesby kind of still nudging up there at number 4. Motley County makes a big move from number 9 to number 5. Benjamin, despite being idle, moves up 2 spots. Miami up 3 spots rather to number 7. Follett back into the rankings. They beat Booker to grab another spot in the rankings. Iredell loses to May. They drop from number 4 to number 9. And new to the rankings with their win over Zephyr, the Strawn Greyhounds are number 10 in 1A Division 2. To the private school ranks we go. The only change in the private school ranks is in the 11-man ranks, where Houston Second Baptist loses to Houston Kincaid at 21-7. They drop out of the rankings, and Kincaid replaces them. So your top 5: San Antonio, Holy Cross, Argyle, Liberty Christian, Dallas First Baptist, Fort Worth All Saints, and then Houston Kincaid. And the private school 6-man ranks, everyone behaved. Everyone's 5-0 now. Houston Emory Weiner, Pasadena First Baptist, Fredericksburg Heritage, Corpus Christi Annapolis, and Huntsville Alpha Omega. There it is, your Week 6 Dave Campbell's Texas Football Associated Press Texas High School Football Rankings. You can find those rankings right now at texasfootball.com/rankings. And if you have any complaints, you can direct them to Ashley_pickle12 on Twitter.